gate.
Easy peasy. Na komm.
Once again, Renato was dead right. Or actually just dead.
Das ist eine alten böse Stelle, okay. Da muss ich mich ein bisschen mehr konzentrieren drauf. Okay. Wieso ist da jetzt niemand aufgetaucht? Elementarer Widerstand Level 3.
The right jewel could really give you an edge. The wrong, well, it still looked pretty, didn't it?
Mal abgesehen davon, dass jetzt gerade keine Gegner mehr gespawnt sind. Na gut, ich nehme das jetzt einfach mal so hin, wie es ist. Er schießt mir die Finger auf.
Renato thought he would make a difference, snatching the Iblis stone before the Emperor could get it. But it would destroy him. Zenobia and Lupino, they were both trying to save him. Peace. That was what he needed.
Und dem Emperor den geben. Schön, dass ich da jetzt in der Wand hängen geblieben bin. Papier oder nehmen wir uns mehr von dem Zeug? Oder wir könnten generell ein bisschen mehr Schwertkraft nehmen. Da habe ich ein bisschen mehr zum Rumfuchteln. Ja, nehmen wir auch ein bisschen mehr Schwertkraft. Dafür haben wir das.
So much for peace and quiet. There was Lupino. Again. You're stronger than some dumb rock, Lupino said. Let's just bury it, and no one will ever find it again. Renato could feel the spirit energy of all those dead ravens inside him, pecking away. The rabbit was right. Even if the rabbit was a traitor, he was still right. He tore the Iblis stone from his gauntlet and threw it into the hole Lupino had dug. Stone was silent, probably sulking. Now whoop those Imperials, said Lupino. Are you coming? Ah, no, I can't come with you. It's my old injury, you know. Recently, it's been acting up terrible. I'd be no use to you at all. So Renato boarded the Farfarer alone. Renato felt lonely on board the Farfarer. How could his old friend Lupino, miraculously escaped from the Empire, leave him to face the final battle alone? Well, he'd abandoned Lupino before, hadn't he? It was only fair. And of course he felt lonely. He'd given up the Iblis stone and all the souls he fed it. Of course he felt alone. But he had done the right thing. It had been hard to do, but there was no better feeling than that. Zenobia would be so proud of him.
Okay. Aber ich bin immer noch der Vermutung, dass mir dieser Hase voll in die Quere kommt, weil er jetzt so gesehen weiß, wo der Stein ist, ihn einfach im Nachhinein ausgraben kann und ihn einfach gegen mich verwenden kann.
The battle, alas, was not going well. He no longer had the stone, and he'd never gotten the core. Lupino wasn't with him, and he was up against Zenobia, out there somewhere, maneuvering the Emperor's forces. The rebels had been outnumbered from the start, and he still had that aching longing for the stone. But that is what it means to be a hero. He would fight his way to Zenobia. He would show her what he was capable of. Just him, with no diabolic accoutrements. He would win, no matter the odds.
mal, dass wir vielleicht ein bisschen mehr rausholen aus den ganzen Leveln. Ab geht's durch diese Tür.
Ah, the road less traveled, thought Renato. How intriguing.
Schatzjäger Level 3. Na komm.
Have you ever felt you were just going round in circles? Bernardo felt like that.
Schön, dass man das kommentiert. Klar. Ab geht's.
Yes, that was it. Pirouette, slash, parry, dodge. Renato had never done such good work in a fight. He wished the poets were along to sing of his exploits for his old age. Maybe he wouldn't have to kill Zenobia. Maybe he could defeat her and take her prisoner. Then he could turn the tide against the Emperor. If she wasn't crowned princess, once this was all over, she'd have more time for him, right? Renato hoped his mother wasn't watching.
No.
There was an inscription on the platform. Balalaika lessons with an address.
No. Balalaika lessons. Das ist einfach nice. So, jetzt genießen wir wieder die schöne Aussicht hier. Ich hab mich da weggestört. Das ist so dämlich, dass ich da jetzt verkackt habe.
And this is why heroes are called dashing, Renato thought. See? Dashing? Get it?
somit habe ich das Level auch geschafft. Yay! Geht doch.
By some miracle, Renato fought his way to the Emperor's ship. He was exhausted, bleeding, but he'd found the strength to reject the stone. Zenobia came out of the ship. "Renato!" she shouted, and then she fell down and died. Lapino was behind her, wielding a sword that seemed to suck all the light out of the sun. "You idiot! You threw the stone away!" cried Lapino. "You said it was evil." "It hates sanctimonious prigs like you," laughed Lapino. "And we're having a grand old time." Renato turned and ran. But no matter where he ran, Lapino jumped in front of him until Renato was cornered. "That boy could hop. You wouldn't do this to an old friend, would you?" cried Renato. "You mean this?" said Lapino as he slid the sword into Renato's
gut. Fuck!
Damn it. Again? And he hadn't learned anything new this time. He'd done the same thing twice, yet expected a different outcome. There would be a way to win. Renato could feel it. He'd have to explore choices he'd never made before he could figure it all out, though. And with that, the book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. And he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens? Every child knew about the Sky Ripper.
Den Sky Ripper Weg nochmal. Zu gucken, ob ich da irgendwie was rausbekomme.
As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? More fire? Yes, please.
So haben wir das mal knapp aufgesetzt.